Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be sharing with you how you can quickly and easily create your composition notebook ready to upload and sell on Amazon KDP. I thought I'm just going to spend 1 minute and go back to the basics and talk about what exactly we are creating. These composition books, what are they? So for the sake of those who probably are not aware, in the UK, we call these exercise books. And in the US, and I believe a few other countries, they call it composition book. And it's basically just a notebook that is used in schools to copy down schoolwork and take notes. Sometimes it's not just used by students, even teachers may use them just to organize their teaching notes and all the rest of that. Usually it will be that students will have different exercise books or composition books, if you like. Every term, every school year, the shopping of these books will be more than one, so that they will have enough for all the subjects. Most of these subjects will just need a lined interior, except for obviously things like maths and algebra and all the rest of that, which will need squared paper, but they still fall into the large category of composition notebooks, whether it's maths, English, science, geography, and all the rest of it. So this is a typical look of a composition notebook, where you will have lines running from end to edge, so they'll have bleed. In other words, they will not have a blank margin. There will be lines running through, and then there will be a margin on the edge of the paper. And the typical look of a composition notebook, or shall I say the traditional look, used to be black and white marble, and it would normally have basic details on it. Probably will say composition notebook, a few spaces to write the student's name, the subject, and a bit more information about what the book entails. In this case, 100 pages, and what the size of the book is. And it might just specify whether it's college rule or wide rule. Now, this website is called Tangent Templates. It's a KDP resources website. It's really handy, and it's one of the best when it comes to professionally done interiors, especially the standard ones, like lined journals and all of that. So the one we're looking at here is a college ruled lined paper, where the lines tend to be much closer to each other on the page, and that's for older students. But then when it comes to wide ruled paper, this tends to be aimed more at the younger students because they're still practicing their handwriting and they need more room to maneuver when they're doing their writing. So with composition notebooks, you will always select with bleed because the lines tend to run from one end of the page to the next. If you just do a quick comparison with journals, a journal paper will look like that. So that's a no bleed, meaning the lines do not run through from one edge to the next. There's always a clear, clean margin, but not so with composition notebooks. So yeah, this is Tangent Templates. I would not worry if I don't have this, because I will be showing you in a short bit where you are going to get your interiors completely for free. But in future, as your business grows, I would strongly recommend this website for low content and editable interiors, and it's got a lot more resources that can help you with your KDP business. But today's video is not focused on that. If you want to see how I use Tangent Templates, or me just going through what it contains, I'm more than happy to do another video just focusing on that in detail. So just make some comments below and let me know if you would like to see a video on Tangent Templates. I just wanted to give an idea to somebody who's not sure what the next best steps are in terms of deciding what niche to create your composition book in, because you want this to be niche down. You don't want it to be generic. Otherwise, it will be lost in the sea of all the books in Amazon that are just general. They don't niche down. You want to have a niche that you're going after. and a group of people that you can serve with your composition notebook. So when we type in composition notebooks in Amazon, we see a few ideas of what the customers may be looking for. College ruled is quite popular. There's also wide ruled for kids, graph paper, and all the rest of that. But to go a little bit deeper into ideas, you can either use the A to Z method, which is you input an alphabet like A, which starts to bring in some more niche ideas like art, animal, aesthetic, cute, all black. Could go to the next letter of the alphabet and we see Batman with blue. But a really handy tool, which I've spoken about in a previous video, is called AMZ Suggestion Expander. This is what happens when we switch on AMZ Expander. It expands the searches on Amazon. So this is the only column we were able to see when we first searched, but now it's given us so many other ideas. And like I said, they're not all relevant. You're going to have to take your time and go through them. But it starts to give you some ideas of the niches you might go for. We see for boys, for teen girls, kindergarten with drawing space, that's for younger ones. With this as well, we could actually apply that alphabet search where we put an alphabet letter and see what is suggested after the words. We can put letter B and we start to see pink cloud butterfly composition notebook. I'll click on that and see what comes up. I'm actually going to just narrow this down a little bit more and see what I get suggested here. Butterfly composition notebook, college ruled for girls, very specific. Butterfly composition notebook, college ruled for women, notebook for adults. Let's go for this one and see the ideas that we might get from this. We see vintage butterfly. We see this is it just says butterfly notebook, just a colorful notebook with some butterfly and some botanical leaves there, single butterfly there. What I'd say to do is create an example of butterfly composition notebook on Canva, and that's what we are going to be looking at in a moment. The best thing to do is to just keep on doing your research and use the research tools. I have a video, and there's so many other videos on YouTube that talk about detailed ways of doing research and the tools you could use to niche down and assess your competition and have a look at what's selling, what price points, what stands out on those book covers and all the rest of that before you decide what you're going to be creating. So for today's example, we're going to work with butterflies. Just before we start creating, I just wanted to quickly show you a place you can come to for your graphics and fonts. And this is Creative Fabrica. And, you can have a try, as it says on here, try the all access subscription now, 1 month for just $1. It's worth just coming in and really having a go for a full month. Have a look and see what you find and see if it's something you might want to use as a resource for your KDP business. That's Creative Fabrica. There'll be a link below if you want to have a go at it for 1 month and see whether you like it. So the next step is to create our design. So you click on create design and we want custom size, and for us to get these correct measurements for our composition notebook, we have a very handy tool here from KDP, which is print cover calculator. And if you went onto Google and searched for this, it will come up. We're creating a paperback, black and white, white paper, left to right. Left to right just means how the page turns, the direction of page turn. Measurement is going to be in inches. Interior trim size 7.5 by 9.25 inches. That's what a typical interior trim size of a composition notebook is. And we're going to go for 100 pages, then calculate dimensions. So the width in inches as well as the height. Okay, so let's copy that into Canva and always make sure it's not pixels but inches whenever we are designing our book covers. So we paste that in, get our height, and 9.5 inches is what we want. Create new design, and there we have it. That's our book cover template. So the next thing we want to do is come here and search for some elements that we could use. And like I said, I was gonna go with butterflies. Let's see what we can find here. There's all these colorful ones, but there are some that I had found that are even more brilliant, like these. With Canva, once you click on an element, sometimes they do have this thing called magic recommendations, and it just shows you more of the item that you clicked on. A lot of them are free as well. If you click for more information, what's allowed, use this media safely in a Canva design for personal or commercial use. That's all we needed to know. You can use this in marketing, social media, and all of that. So it's always important to read the licensing of Canva. It changes from time to time. If you've done any research or looked closely at composition notebooks, you will notice that the most popular designs normally will have repeat patterns. So we're going to use this to make some repeat patterns of butterflies. So I'm just going to pause this video here and I'll come back when I have populated this, and I'll show you how I duplicate it to make repeat patterns. I have now selected the main graphics that I'm going to be using for my repeat pattern. So I'm just going to group them and reduce them in size a little bit to that point, duplicate 3 times and align them that way. I'm going to group that again and duplicate, align that just slightly below the second column, just so it creates a bit of a unique pattern. I'm gonna duplicate once more and I am going to align that there. That is the look of my complete pattern. It's a repeated pattern and it's just taken me about 5 minutes. If I was to upload this for sale, I would definitely take a bit more time, but this was just to show you how you can achieve repeat patterns using individual graphics. But I would highly suggest take your time and create the best design you can do. So all that's left to do now is to add a background that might at least make them stand out as a thumbnail on Amazon when we get our book listed. And I'm going to choose a black background. I think that makes it really stand out. So the next thing we need to do now is just add a cover panel for our composition notebook. I always have a template ready for that just to save me time. So I have already got a prepared cover panel for my book, which just says, I'm going to enlarge that a little bit just to help you see. And it basically just says composition notebook, a few lines where they can put in their personal information, their name, maybe subject, and a bit more information about what the book contains. 100 pages, wide ruled, 7.5 by 9.25 inches, just so that the customer knows what they're buying when they view the book on Amazon. Composition books normally will have this contrasting color on the spine, or it could be matching colors. This is pink and it's a book that's selling quite well actually. So this is the traditional look of composition notebooks. Right, so going back on our design here, I will just press R for rectangle on the keyboard. That's a quick shortcut. You just if you just click R, a little rectangle will come up. And I'm just trying to quickly design a spine for this book just to give it a complete composition notebook look. Then I'm going to position that center and look at these document colors. These are colors that are coordinated to our design. And that is our complete look of our composition notebook. As I said, I didn't take too long to design this. I suggest taking as much time as you need to make the best design to upload and sell on Amazon. So what's left to do now is just to download that. So come to download. We want it as a PDF. I normally go for best for printing. We have a book cover ready to go. I did mention where to get our interiors. I always use Tangent templates because they're very professionally done and it saves me a lot of time. I don't have to design them myself. But not to say that you have to pay for the software to get your interiors. We do have Book Bolt. You want to go to Resources, Interior Wizard. Click Interior Wizard again, and there we go. This one is the college ruled. We do have access to the wide ruled. Choose whichever one you want to use for your composition notebook. So if it's college ruled, I would go with bleed. Like we said, we want the lines to run from one edge of the paper to the other edge of the paper. So that's the normal look of a composition notebook. And you choose your trim size. In this case, we were working with 7.5 by 9.25, and I was working with 100 pages, and then you just download that. That's the interiors ready for us, and we have our cover downloaded. Yeah, and just have a quick look at how our cover looks like. That's our cover downloaded. Something else I want to quickly show you, I forgot to mention, is that I always make sure that I use my template to just be sure that everything is aligned as it should. So I want that to be transparent so I can see what I'm doing. If you notice, the spine is actually right in the middle, but it's obviously wider than the spine that you're provided with on our cover template. But that doesn't matter. It just depends on the book you're publishing. As long as everything is within this area, it's in the safe space, and we won't get any errors once we have uploaded it on Amazon. So I'm going to delete that now, and that is the end of this video. I hope you have found some value in this, and if you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that more people can find this content. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see, and I will be happy to create the videos that will bring value to your KDP business. Don't forget to subscribe and switch on your notification bell if you want more videos like these. I will be doing lots more videos on KDP and other ways to make money passively using digital products. I will see you in the next video. Take care and all the best in your KDP business.